You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking? Let me ask you a question. Some people think I'm overly ridiculous about what I said about Gavin Newsom the other day. Here's the problem with us Americans. We're busy working, at least those of us that are conservatives anyway, and some of the Democrats. And you have Democrats that are making fistfuls of money doing nothing but causing complete damage to this country. And you get on YouTube and you read the comments by these asshats that defend the Democrat Party. And I leave a comment because somebody was talking about Newsom attacking DeSantis. And somebody says both of them need to shut up. But I said, you need to shut up your comments. I support DeSantis. DeSantis has actually done something for Florida. Number one, people are moving there because of him. Number two, DeSantis took on Disney, which is jamming transgender and LGBT right down the throats of children. Minneapolis now has drag queens doing story time. Okay? I do the feminine thing. I dress the way I dress, but I don't endorse that crap. I'm a man who has a feminine side, but I'm fully testosterone, fully male, remodeling my house. I'm a man. There's no mistake about that. And what bothers me is Disney, which is an entertainment company that used to be somewhat family friendly, has gone off the rails. We saw what's happened with Budweiser, with them putting this little geeky guy that wants to be a girl, and Budweiser sales went down the toilet. Now we see this young generation, and it really angers me seeing black women walk into stores just in broad daylight snatching purses. I want to go up behind them, grab them by the hair and go, wham, and pull them down and knock them on their head and say, what the hell do you think you're doing, biatch? These black guys going into stores in California under Governor Newsom. Whole Foods shut down. Walmart is leaving Portland and leaving dangerous places like Baltimore. All of these Democrat-led areas that have allowed crime to just quantify. And Gavin Newsom, all he can do is focus on the fact that DeSantis doesn't want to allow abortion. What is wrong with Gavin Newsom other than the fact he's a hellbound sinner that has more in common with Satan than truth? He endorses 61 million deaths of children. Obviously, Gavin Newsom doesn't care about children. The education system doesn't. They're teaching them godless evolution. They're teaching them that they evolved from monkeys. And guess what? The young generation is acting like monkeys. Have you been to India? Have you looked at what they do? A lady sits down with a purse, monkey comes down, snatches it. A woman's got her cell phone trying to take a video of a monkey. The monkey grabs it and runs. And what are these young people doing? Grabbing it and running, stealing and running, and you don't get it back. They're damaging stuff. They're tearing up stuff. And the Democrats have allowed this. Let repeat criminals come out. Washington, D.C., led by a black mayor. San Francisco, led by a black mayor. Making statements that are just ridiculous because they're caught with fucking egg on their face. Social media. Oh, wait a minute. Social media, what? They've been your friends, jackasses. They support the jackass party. Zuckerberg does, Google does, YouTube does, Twitter did. Oh, please, spare me. I don't know why a militia hasn't been formed in this country that is allowed by the Constitution to shut this crap down. Because it is well within constitutional right for the rest of sane citizens to stand up and say, we're not putting up with this anymore. I want to know why in this damn country that a store owner like Macy's or whatever cannot sit there at the entrance with an AK-47 and say, you walk out the door with that shit that you didn't pay for, I'm going to blow your feet off. The guy that owns that store would go to prison for that. Nothing would happen to the thug. This party is fucked. It doesn't matter what Newsom says. All he does is focus that DeSantis denies women's rights. Fucker Newsom, you deny security and safety. And you're making big fat money. They had a $300 truffle dinner not wearing a mask. And you don't care that these stores are losing tons and tons of merchandise. And guess what Walmart is doing? All across the country, the stores that are still open, gouging the hell out of us on every product, going up and up to accommodate all that theft. The Democrats, all by themselves, have caused this shit. The Democrat voters are guilty of bloodshed. I am sick and tired of listening to the lies by leftists. I live in a town full of black leftists. I look at the way the blacks act in this town that I live in. I look at the children, the outflow of the black community. Dude, it's a disaster. It is a disaster. And this is all because of Democrat voting and Democrat policies going soft on criminals. Washington, D.C. last weekend, an Asian woman, Christy Bautista, was taken out. I believe it was a black man. The fact that the media didn't say white man, I'm pretty sure it was a black man, who had then had a rap sheet, stabbed her 20 times in her hotel. Now, what we're not told is if she knew him. God, I hope not. I don't know what she's doing with people that want to do that to her. But he was let out again and again and again for crimes. And even in 2020, Gavin Newsom and all these lame brains want to let hardened criminals back on the streets. Why is it that they didn't just, these Democrat politicians didn't invite these sons of bitches in their house? Let these murderers come and stay in your house, buddy. And you know what happened? A lot of those guys went out and within 24 hours of release went and murdered somebody. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Our cities are out of control with crime. Democrats are starting, some, very, very few. I mean, they brought this on themselves, but some of them are going, you know what? This being soft on crime ain't working. Now, not too many people you would think would go into Whole Foods to steal non-GMO foods. But there's so much homelessness in San Francisco, and they give them free hypodermic needles so they can shoot up. They let them pee and piss on the sidewalk. They let them live on the sidewalk. They're encamped around these stores, badgering people for money, and they're stealing and wow. And these blacks want us to give us reparations. Have you seen how many blacks are in these cities stealing tons of? They're done. We don't owe them anything. They've stolen so much shit since the civil rights era, TV sets and everything, that we don't owe them nothing. There are more blacks today doing this bad behavior than there were slaves for the 80 years that slavery was legal in the United States. Something to think about. It's a fact. And I know people aren't going to like that I said that, but hey, facts kind of hit you in the face. And what bothers me is this country keeps voting Democrat. And the social media platforms keep supporting Democrats. They're so worried about spherical heating. They're so worried about the natural environs and all this. And guess what? One of the ladies I worked with at work, who's a staunch black Democrat, I was shocked. She told me this. She said she heard on MSNBC today, this morning, that only 4%, they did a poll. I don't know where they come up with this crap, but only 4% of Americans support electric vehicles. I actually thought it would be much higher. Isn't that interesting? Is it because people are starting to wake up? Gavin Newsom, the brilliant dum-dum that he is, wants in 2035 you can't buy gas cars and pickups anymore. or lawnmowers and leaf blowers. But last summer, he's telling people exact words. Don't plug in your cars because it's a tax on the electrical grid. You know what the qualifications are for being a Democrat? Check your brains in at the door and don't even use the common sense that you thought you had. But you listen to Newsom talk. He thinks he's slick, he thinks he's professional, and he thinks he's better than DeSantis. It's funny, DeSantis' state is a well-oiled machine. California is coming unhinged. The largest exodus of U-Hauls in any state's history. People want to leave. Gavin Newsom is a schlep. These mayors of all these Democrat cities, mostly black women, they're schleps. Lightfoot of Chicago, a schlep. And guess what she did to the black community? Allowed more black people to kill black people and is so worried about Abbott transporting illegals to other parts of the country. Isn't it funny how hypocritical Democrats are? Instead of doing the job that is right under their nose, they're going to fire everybody far, far out of their jurisdiction. This is not just my opinion. Democrats and their voters are a threat to Homeland Security. They're a threat to your paycheck every day. They've caused your food prices and your store prices to go up nationwide. They've caused your gas prices to go up. They've caused my natural gas prices to go up. They've caused my electrical rates to go up. They've caused diesel to go up. They cannot put that on Donald Trump. That is their enchilada. They made it, they cooked it, and they're selling it. And that same party of shitheads, which is pushing electric vehicles, isn't saying a damn fucking word about African children in Africa mining lithium. You can check it out for yourself, going deep down to the ground in tunnels. Little kids. There's no OSHA for them. There's no workers' protection. And the Democrats aren't saying, like I said, Democrats don't give a shit about children. They fuck children. They use children, pedophiles. Epstein is one of their own. I mean, look around, folks. Look around. And they're so greedy for this lithium, so greedy to get everybody on electric. You think you're going to save money buying an electric car? The cost is ridiculous. Not one of those Democrats told us what it's going to charge it up. So forget miles a gallon. How many kilowatts per minute? I mean, that's what you're looking at. Imagine electric vehicles in the snowstorm in Buffalo this winter. Yeah, that'll work, huh? At least when you got an engine running, you can run it until you run out of a tank of gas. But just idling your vehicle on a full tank of gas is going to go longer than a damn car. Running your heating system stuck in a snowbank. It runs on electric. Democrats are a threat to Homeland Security and endorsing vile, vulgar, N-word laced music, compliments of blacks and whites and others. The Democrats, which own Hollywood releases nothing but violent movies. And Hollywood wants gun control. The Democrats want gun control every time students are killed in school. But we don't have Democrat control that killed 61 million children. And to listen to Fox News say something like, the Republicans are going to have to change their stance on abortion. Says who? Feminist, angry, liberal women? Why are we kowtowing to them? They should be charged with murder and given the electric chair. They should be injected with saline and done in the same way the babies were done in with, and see how it feels. This is what bothers me. These are the kind of women that say TMI when somebody says something that offends them, and they just brutally kill their baby because it's an inconvenience and say, it's my body, my choice. You kind of women are an inconvenience to me. Should we get rid of you? Should your mother have had an abortion and got rid of you? Oh, you don't want to talk about that logic, do you? You're here. How about all these feminists that hate men? That white stuff that comes out of the end of a man's penis brought you here. You're gonna hate all men, but you got here because of men. Please, you better try again. Women that say they don't need men, they're addicted to their cell phones, their SUVs, and the whole industry that males built. Democrats, the feminists, all this crap that you see going on is nothing but hypocrisy. They can do whatever they want, say whatever they want. But if you were to hold them accountable for what they said and said, all right, you don't want nothing to do with men? Get out of the house. You didn't build it. Can't use electricity. You didn't invent it. You didn't put up the power system. You didn't build the sewer system. You didn't build the water system. You didn't pave the streets. You didn't build the malls. You women go out there in Siberia somewhere and find a way to do it all by yourself. Okay? You don't need men. Get to it, ladies. Grow your armpit hair 6 inches and be tough like you think you are in the gym with all your little equipment on, please. This country is circling the fucking drain. There's no such thing as ladies anymore. That's gone from the American landscape 99.9% of the time.
How long?
Our workplaces for people like us have become a drudgery. Rude supervisors, rude bosses, incompetent management that just wants to go like this, and a workforce that doesn't want to come to work. Call them, and they still have a job. And those of us that are dedicated hard workers are treated like shit by immature female bitchy managers that cannot and will not change their shitty bitchy attitudes. And me, a white guy's got to go up against an angry black Democrat woman who is incompetent leadership and has no PR skills whatsoever. Guess what's going to happen to me? This is the country we live in. Democrats are a threat to national security, and the Democratic Party as it stands today is terrorism on the Constitution, terrorism to Christians, terrorism to Republicans, and they are terrorists. And it is time we start to view them as such. Gavin Newsom slamming down mandates where people cannot sell gas-powered cars, that should be challenged by the Supreme Court and said, nope, you can't do that. Since when does our government have the right to tell us? Now, it's one thing that they got rid of lead-based paint. I understand that. But Gavin Newsom's a son of a bitch hypocrite, gets rolled around in limousines, and he's not flying on any plane first class that has an extension cord. So shut the fuck up, Gavin Newsom. And you're so worried about reproductive rights. Wake the fuck up, asshole. China and Russia are eyeing and toying with the idea of fucking us over real good because of your dumbass party. So don't worry about women's reproductive rights. Don't worry about that. Worry about if you're going to be alive the next 10 years. When Russia says, fuck you, and drops a bomb on Los Angeles or New York City and says, you throw one weapon my way, we'll destroy the entire rest of your country. Get the fuck out of the Ukraine, shut the fuck up, and don't talk to us no more. Russia and China have nothing to lose. They've aligned. Compliments of Biden. This is my message to the Democrat Party of the U.S. There's no more negotiating. You guys are fucking idiots. You don't like our Constitution? Get the fuck out of here then. Go move to socialist countries. Go move to Xi's China. Go move to Kim Jong-Jing's or Kim Jong-un. Go move to Iran if you're so Muslim. Tell Tits to move AOC. Tell her to move out of her $175,000 salary and go live in Iran if she's so concerned about Muslims. Hypocrites, all. They're fucking with my money. They're fucking with my building materials. They're fucking with my utilities. They're fucking with my truck gas, which in turn is fucking with my auto parts and fucking with me buying a cheap t-shirt is no longer cheap. I bought 5 quarts of oil, synthetic oil yesterday, $35. That is what the Democrats and Biden have done. These dumbass people, to keep voting in these dumbass people, are a threat to national security. I'm done with this rant. They'll laugh, they'll scoff, they'll make their rude comments. This is the truth. They're liars. Boom. End of story.